Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to Mindset Monday. We're having our own little show. I'm Shelley Butler. Yeah, not a show, conversation. We were having our own little conversation. And it was a bit of a sad conversation. So I want to, um,
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Okay.
was a bit of a sad conversation. So I want to dedicate this episode of Mindset Monday to our very good friend, Christine Bowman. She was our epic friend, and all of those of our friends from Epic. We all just found out yesterday that Christine has passed away from cancer. I think it was 3 to 4 years ago. Her and I were hugging it out at an Epic event, and she whispered in my ear that um, she had cancer and she was diagnosed, and she had young children, very young children, unfortunately metastasized, and she fought hard. Yeah, it was definitely a valiant fight, and the woman could write. Oh, she would write the most amazing, uplifting, joyous posts for those of us supporting her. Yeah, she was. Yeah, I remember the gift. Actually, we got back, you and I, from Epic from the very first time of meeting Christine, and it wasn't long after that she had sent us a little gift. And yeah, she was super memorable. And yeah,
Christine was a type of person that, like, when we go to these events, right? These motivational events or these like deep thinking events, right? She was a type of person that was like an A+ personality. She was always like, okay, let's get this down.
participation plus.
Plus,
You remembered
always,
you knew she was in the room.
like front row seat,
Absolutely.
raising her hand,
Absolutely.
courageous as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah. So much to contribute. So much to contribute. Yeah. Well, when we lose a friend, it is absolutely devastating. The older even I get, the more friends we seem to lose. And cancer is just heartbreaking, is absolutely heartbreaking.
I read a quote yesterday that maybe is appropriate for today. Like, it's not why do bad things happen to good people, and it's not that bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to everyone.
Bad things happen to
The
everyone. Yeah.
difference, and this is the difference, is good people react differently. And Christine was a good person, and she got cancer. That was bad.
Yeah.
But her reaction or her action, it's not a reaction because she had to swallow that, but her action towards embracing what was real, to continue living and being, in the moment with her kids and the people she loved, is an action, right? So bad things happen all the time, and they happen to you, they happen to me, right? I think
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
not working, might not. Oh, thank you.
Eve's might not be working. Oh,
Thanks, Trent. There you go. Is that better? Yeah.
thank you.
So
Let
what
us
I was
know.
saying is like, why do bad things happen to good people? Well, they don't. They happen to everyone.
Yeah.
And but the difference is the way good people respond, right? Not react, but respond. Because respond, like the way you respond is a responsibility. And Christine was certainly a responsible person.
Mm.
And the way she responded to her bad news, which was cancer, was to spend more time with the people she loved, and to continue to give through social media. And that's, part of social media is to connect. Like she lived out west, right? And we still connected with her. And that's the power of being connected to a person that can respond. And yeah, so bad things happen to everyone.
Yeah.
It's how we respond to life that makes a
It is.
difference.
Her outlook was so positive, her ability to uh say, you know what, I am going to live every day to the fullest.
There you go.
She did, and that's exactly who she was, and absolutely so proud of the way that she did live. I am dedicating this entire month to Christine
Mm.
Bowman. So I have joined a cancer challenge. I am doing 100 squats every day
I'll join that.
in honor of her. Oh, thank you, Eve. That's awesome.
100 squats. That's a lot.
100 squats.
Thank
It's
God.
actually not too bad.
Thank
I've
God
already
I'm
finished.
shorter than you.
Okay.
Sorry. Squats aren't as deep as yours.
I bet you they are. So, so yeah, so I would love for you guys. It's on my feed, and I have joined this challenge. So if you can help support, so we can all make sure that those that have cancer can, um, maybe one day there will be a cure for this, and people can stop going through awful,
Hmm.
this
Awful thing.
awful, awful. All right, it's Monday morning.
Yeah. I was wondering, I woke up sad this morning. I was wondering why. That's why. I couldn't put my finger on it. And it's because of Christine.
I woke up heavy this morning
Heavy.
as well.
Heavy.
Yeah, I woke up
Yeah.
super super heavy this morning, and we lose when we lose people. And Eve, you've gone through a lot. You've just lost your sister to cancer this year.
Yeah.
Well, 2025, and
Hmm.
it's a lot. It seems to pile on, doesn't it? And we can almost lose ourselves in that. I know I woke up heavy as well. Monday morning, I never miss a Monday. Got myself down to my workout room, did a heavy weightlifting class, and got all 100 squats completed. And I decided that I wasn't going to live with the heaviness.
So let me ask.
We owe her to not live with the
No,
heaviness.
and
Yeah.
then maybe in as an ode to did I say that correctly?
A note to Christine. Yeah.
Christine, how do you like holy. So how do you respond? Like I'm asking you guys, the audience here, how do you respond to bad news? Um, because being a good person is a choice. And if you're wondering if you're a good person or not, that means to me that you are. Because good people wonder. Good people ask themselves, am I a good person? And that's the question, right? How do you respond? And then you just alluded to something. Maybe you do exercise to respond to bad news. Is that what you do? What do you do to respond to bad news? When you think of a time, you don't have to tell me the story of a bad news, but think of a time you had something bad happen to you, bad news, and what did you do?
So usually I will separate myself from the situation. So I won't hang around the house.
I noticed that about you. You
I
you like exit
stage
right,
left.
stage.
Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely. I have to get myself out of the situation. I can't remain in
Okay,
um
you do
in the
that.
heaviness, right? So and a lot of people will say, "Well, Shelley, you're very in tune to others." And what happens is when things are heavy,
Mm.
right? And you've had me even do that with you.
Go
Go,
ahead.
Eve, are you okay? Is everything going on? Because I felt heaviness. You're across town, but I felt your heaviness.
Yes.
Energy for
Yeah,
me
because
is
we're connected. So you
is
feel me.
huge.
You feel me when I say good morning, depending on how hard I type on G, you let me.
Is everything okay? I feel energy. So what happens to me is I can and I knew this as a youngster. I knew this within my family. But I wasn't in tune. I didn't really have the awareness. I knew I was feeling heavy. So I lived in a fairly dysfunctional family. We put the fun in dysfunctional. So the heaviness was too much, was just too much, and I couldn't find myself in all that. So now,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so now if it's too heavy, my husband will see me put my boots on
And
and
go.
I go immediately to the woods. I
Oh,
had
okay.
no idea.
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had no
So that's a
idea
good way
that
to
the
cope. Yeah.
Absolutely. Get yourself in the trees. All of a sudden you see this beautiful,
Mm,
and that energy will actually release. I had no idea, and I've talked about this
mm,
before until Greg Wells talked about his daughter being throwing around F-bombs and during COVID, right? Couldn't go to school, couldn't go to friends' houses. He took her into the woods and within 5 minutes she was fine,
I remember that story.
right? And I
It's in the
didn't,
woods.
but I
Yeah.
had no awareness of that. I
Mm.
had no awareness. I knew I felt really good at the beach. I knew I felt really good in the woods. So whether I'm near water or I'm in the woods, it's almost like a reset for me.
I like that.
So I can get rid of the energy that was flowing through me. right? And it can happen in anywhere. It doesn't just happen in your home, or it can happen anywhere. You can have a bit of a, miscommunication, or things don't work out well. People are in front of you in the grocery store, or they're all talking and you can't get through the aisles, right? And some people get really worked up about
Mm,
that. So when I feel that, when I feel my voice hitch, when I feel my breath hitch, I know that it's just time to go for a walk.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so the question I'm asking the audience here and to Shelley as well. So what do you do when you're faced with bad news? And Shelley's saying I go in the woods, which is great, great. And I can certainly connect with that.
Bad news is relative too, though, right? So my bad news may not be your bad news.
Okay, let's just get something straight. Like 50% of reality is real.
Mm,
So like 50% of your reality is real and 50% is imagined.
exactly.
Right. So my reaction to a certain situation is different than yours, right?
Most
And because
definitely.
because my 50% is not yours. My
Yeah.
lived experience is not yours. And I have something about that. But anyway, so you're right. So but however, we all like some bad news could be like, I don't know, you can't pay your bill. And other bad news is, okay, you're getting bankrupt or you've been diagnosed with a terminal.
Bad news is there's no ice cream in the fridge.
Yeah, but
You
there's
know what
no,
I mean?
I'm not
Like,
measuring bad news there, right? Like it's not
good.
like
Yeah.
it's like there's no measure of bad news. It's bad news is bad news.
You just,
How do you measure like the effect of bad news? It hits you, like it hits you.
it hits you. So, do you have enough awareness, right, that you are in reaction? Do you have enough awareness that you are upset about something? And
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what the
yeah.
something
So
is,
that's
but
the
do you have enough awareness that you can't, what did James Roast used to say? I can't be wearing my dirty shoes, right, in the house. So
okay.
so
So
if my thoughts are too wild, if
yeah,
my
yeah,
energy is too
yeah.
crappy, I can't take that in the house. I take those shoes that I'm wearing with the dirty energy and I have to go sit, I have to go walk someplace, but we owe ourselves to have enough awareness that we do not take that energy with us. And it is important that you find a way to release it.
So then a follow-up question that you just brought up to
Yeah.
me is like, are you conscious that you are like there's an energy reaction attachment or something to the bad news that you received. That's why you go in the woods. Or do you do it consciously or you just go to the woods
No, no,
automatically?
I do it consciously. It took me
Consciously.
years to be aware.
Okay.
It took me
So,
years to be
and you said
aware.
this is my safe spot. I'm going there. See you
Well,
later.
this is
Yeah.
for some reason I reset there. Whether it's the beach, whether it's the woods, it's for some reason it seems to be outdoors. I cannot reset. I can't even reset after journaling.
Really?
I can't
That's
reset
good.
after journaling. I have
Yeah.
to actually, so I can
Is
journal.
that wrong or right? It's neither. It's just
There's, I don't think there's a right or wrong.
it just works for you.
But I
Yeah.
noticed, right? And it took me
Yeah.
years to realize that. I would be like, oh, I've written it all out. I've written it all out. You know what I mean? I can remember my husband one day saying to me, well, maybe you better write some more.
So it's
It
interesting.
wasn't out of
And
it.
what would happen if Lynn would say, "Oh, I see you're reacting. You should go in the woods."
Yeah,
You'd
that,
probably punch her in the
well,
throat.
he would never. Yeah, 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 yeah. He would protect himself
Yeah. So
immediately.
people
Yeah.
can't make you aware that you are like,
Nobody can do the work for
no,
you.
you
No,
have you have to become conscious.
you want to talk about making yourself even heightened a little bit more with that negative energy, as if somebody says, calm down.
Oh, I love when the people say that.
Go,
Oh, you're reacting.
on, or right. Oh my God, like flipping the bird real quick at that, right? Well, we don't take kindly to it. We don't take kindly to people telling us where our energy is. We don't.
We don't. It's very personal. That's probably why. I don't know.
Well, don't tell me how I feel,
Right, right, right.
right?
It's
You
very,
don't tell
yeah.
me how
How
I
do you
feel.
know how I feel?
Even though my
Right.
husband absolutely knows how I feel, but I still take it negatively.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been with me since I was 15 years old,
Yeah.
and I'm 30 now, so
Yeah. Like
we
15
know
years is a
a
long
long
time.
time. Hi, Rachel. Oh, Jazan.
So, for me, I used to do exercise. That was my go-to. So my go-to was when I had bad news. I just go do like
Mm.
really sweaty
Hmm.
exercise. That's the way I dealt with it. When I was in court and all that stuff,
Yeah.
every time I get a
Yeah.
bad news, I couldn't handle it. I go do 1, 2, 3 hours of exercise.
Yeah.
Today, I would say that my go-to is staying still. So
Yeah.
I would like if you tell me bad news, right?
Hmm.
Or you tell me something I
Hmm.
didn't expect, I will stay there.
Yeah.
I'll take longer breaths.
Yeah.
I'll observe my thoughts. I'll become quiet. And I see what is my responsibility from that. In other words, I look at my attachment, my reaction, myself, and I say, okay, that's interesting. And it goes away. So that's where I am today. But I've, practiced that a lot. So, and it could be journaling, walking in the woods. But what do you do when you receive bad news? How do you handle it? Do you, call your best friend? And that's also great too, right? If you have a best friend to call up and say, "Hey, I've received bad news." That's good, right? And I have my best friend right there, so I always tell you bad news.
Yeah. We
But
share our bad news.
but it's like you already know where I am. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, Rachel. You know I'm 30. Come on, Rachel.
Yeah, don't question. Don't question. And and yeah, so how do you handle bad news? And and it's a practice to handle bad news. And we are good. Whether you want, you can isolate yourself all you want. Get rid of all the negative people in your life. Get rid of all the news. Like get rid of like isolate yourself in the middle of the woods. You're gonna get bad news. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter.
it doesn't.
Right? So what we have to do is come up with ways to deal with bad news. And first become conscious that, oh, I'm reacting to bad news. Okay. What is there to do? The other thing I do, this is recent though. The other thing I do is I sit still, I sit still, I sit still, and then I come up with things I don't want to do, and I do one of those.
Mm.
So that's been a game changer for me. So, recently one of my friend passed away. He was approximately my age, yeah. And his wife and I are good friends. And, I felt bad. I didn't know what to do. I reached out,
Yeah.
right? Now, in the past, I would have avoided that,
Hmm.
right? And I
Tough
reached out a few,
conversation.
yeah, I reached out a few times. I still do, right? She doesn't respond, but it's okay, right?
Yeah.
I don't take it personally.
Yep.
And so I do things. I go see people at the hospital, right?
Yep.
Right. I go see people at homes, right? Another reason to go, it's a reason to go see people in homes because that's bad news. And we're afraid to go see people in homes. We're afraid to go see people in the hospitals.
Yeah.
And the
You're
reason,
talking about a senior home.
yeah, senior
Yeah.
home. And the reason we're afraid when other people get bad news is we don't know what to do because we haven't figured out our plan.
Mm.
If you have a plan of what to do with bad news, then you're more likely to do the things that you don't want to do,
Mm.
right? Yeah, like Bruce, my friend Bruce, the homeless man,
Yep.
he's getting operated today for cancer, prostate cancer, and he's in the hospital. And he asked me to go
Mm.
bring him some gym pants, and I will.
Awesome. For
I'm gonna
sure.
go buy him a pair of
Absolutely.
gym pants at Giant Tiger and bring him some gym pants.
Okay.
Now, I'm probably the only guy who's going to go see this guy,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So how do you deal with bad news? That's that. It's an important question in your life, and it's an important question in business. So let's go back to business in a bit here. How do you deal with bad news in a business? So have you received bad news in business
Well,
when customer
no,
leaves?
I don't know if I frame it like that, right? I
Oh,
mean, yeah, I don't think bad news in business for me, I think is more personal when it comes to employees, right? That is bad news for me. We're in a business, we're in a SaaS business. Customers are going to leave. If
mhm.
I'm unable to function every time a customer churns, well,
You have to still be in the woods all the time.
you'd be, yeah, exactly. You might as well just lay down, right? So you
Everybody,
need to have,
every time a customer gives you a bit of criticism, you'd be in the woods.
yeah, yeah, you certainly you can't do that. So
Yeah.
resiliency is something that I breed here at Dovaco. Like it's really important that we are resilient. Not every feature is going to be built beautifully. Not every feature is going to work beautifully. Not everything is going to sell like we believe it's going to come off the shelves. So if we don't have that resiliency, everything is going to be bad news.
Yeah, so when you think about that, like you try something, you deliver something, whatever that something is. Could be, I don't know, new software, it could be a new feature, it could be a new yoga class, it could be whatever. Like, and you don't get the expected result. That's bad news, right? So you're doing something, you're expecting something in return, and you don't get it. And then you get a shot of bad news. What do you do? Like we get these all the time, and we pack them in. We don't release them. We don't have a mechanism to release them. And eventually, this causes all sorts of problems in your body, right? Causes anxiety and depression because we're not dealing with the bad news. We're not dealing with the rejections or the constant haters, if you want, out there. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a way to deal with them, it grows on you, right?
Well, yeah, your thoughts will become so big in your head that you will be stiff. You will not do anything. You will
Mm.
be in frozen mode because
So,
you're so worried about the next failure.
yeah,
Innovation is about failing.
it
It's about
is.
failing often, actually. So we can't be, oh, that feature didn't work, right? We have to be, how do we tweak it? How do we tweak it into something else? How do we make it? How do we package it into something that's a little bit different?
Yeah, and life is like that too. Life is about failing. It's about trying something.
Yeah.
It's about always trying something a little different, like going on the edge and finding your edge, whatever situation you're in. What is your edge?
Yeah.
If you're not on the edge, you're comfortable. And if you're comfortable, you're not living. You're living in the past. You're comfortable,
Most
right?
definitely. And we have to be careful because our children, I noticed the Gen Z coming to us, have zero resiliency. Like we have to almost give them fail,
Who's the
fail, fail, fail.
resilience person? Is that Mark Black?
Mark Black is all
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
resilience, and so is Sarah McVanoff.
Sarah McVann.
Sarah is
Right.
all about, yeah,
Sorry.
resiliency. So
So is Heather Moyes, right?
Heather is
Yeah,
all
yeah, of
about
course.
resiliency as
Yeah.
well,
They're
right?
all epic people, by the way. Except Mark.
And
Yeah.
Sarah. Sarah's not.
Oh, she's not epic.
Sarah's not epic.
Oh,
No. We met Sarah at Mark Black's event actually.
really?
And yeah, she was
Not
a
at Robin Show?
speaker. No,
Oh,
no, she was a
well, that's
speaker.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, she's been a speaker for years, and resiliency, so she wrote the book called The Flip Side of Failing.
Mm.
And there is a flip side of failing, but if you don't see it, what happens is you just stop. And like resiliency, so I was at an event not too long ago, and there was children and adults, and so one of the children were
It's
pretty
good there were
small
adults there too.
and couldn't right and could because I'm not babysitting. You're little buggers. So one kid was on their phone, right? She was a little younger, so she wasn't participating. So mom gave her their phone and she could play. But the kid would come up, I can't get past this level. So the mother would get past the level for her and give it back to her.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So we're seeing that a whole lot. Even my daughter out will say, I know you've written the essay, right?
To the mom.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we are so afraid that our children will fail because now we have this something is happening where we believe that if our children fail, it's a total reflection on us.
So we're afraid that the people we love are going to get bad news, and we
So
protect them.
what we do, so
Wow.
there's zero resiliency, right? They've never gone out and
Okay.
failed. So my daughter is at the point now, she's like, because the parents will call and they'll say, like, little Johnny got this terrible mark. And Nicola's like, well, no, that was a better mark than he got last year. It's good. And he's going to pass, right? He's going to pass. And Nicola tells everybody, we don't fail anybody.
Wow.
Nobody will fail. So your child could come out of grade 12 and not be able to read. It's happening. It's happening on the daily. So we have to be so good as parents to make sure that our children are not attached to the outcome. And we have to teach them that from a very young age.
I was listening to this coach. He's a business coach, and he was coaching us how to raise our kids, right?
Mm,
And the one thing he was saying was that, you know, as parents, we have to choose their friends. And I thought, what?
mm.
Does that make sense to you? We should choose their friends, or should we let them like choose their own friends, they're gonna fail at choosing friends. They're gonna have to,
Yeah.
that's how they
But
learn.
that's what's happening. That's what's happening. No,
Parents are
Eve.
actually choosing their
Most
kid.
most definitely.
Wow.
Most definitely. Yeah. So the guilt of the mom not being home
Oh,
has created. So when we started going to work
the
and
guilt
listen,
of, I have to think about that.
yeah, so the guilt,
Oh, so then you're over
we
giving.
overcompensate.
Compensate.
Yeah, we overcompensate because we have
Mm.
such a guilty conscience about not being there for our children. So when we get up in the morning, we send our children to school and we go and pick them up at the daycare, about 6, 5:30, 6,
I went,
right?
I
And
just
then they're in bed by 7:30, 8
I'm
o'clock.
just thinking if I had that guilt. I don't think I have.
Well, you did actually. So I'm going to tell you, the very first time I went to Robin Sharma, they were talking about, there was a speaker and I can't remember what he was talking about, but I remember you coming to me in tears and saying, I got to go call my daughter.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you believed, and it's
Mm.
interesting because my husband's father is the same way. Larry said to Leonard, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I'm so sorry I work so much. I know I'm
Oh, because I was
way
working all the time.
you were
Yes.
working all the time. So
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
felt guilty that
Sorry.
you weren't there.
Lost myself for a
You,
second.
you weren't there when now, of course, she said to you, well, Dad, you were there. Like, and Leonard said the same thing. Well, Dad, I remember you taking us to Hillsborough in the snowstorms. You had that old Ford LTD, and you could shove about 18 kids in that thing and all the hockey bags, right? And Larry'd be the only one that would take them down to the practice or the game in Hillsborough when it was snowing. So Leonard remembers all of those things. Leonard doesn't remember Dad not being there, but of course, the father believed that he worked too much. How many men, when they retire, say, I wasn't there
I
for you.
wasn't there.
I worked too much.
So there's guilt.
Others were home. Your wife was home,
My wife was home,
right?
yeah. No, she worked half time,
Well,
part
so did
time.
my mom. So did
Yeah,
my mom.
she
But
worked part
but
time.
bottom
Yeah.
line, my mom was home most days. I was not a latchkey kid. Like I didn't have to come home and let myself in and
Oh,
you know
no,
what I
no,
mean? Like
no. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't like that. But our kids didn't have us. Like my kid had me for an hour and a half. Like my kid went to bed at 7:30, 8 o'clock. I didn't get home
Mm.
till 6. So I saw my kid for 2 hours a day.
Okay, so let's like trend like bring this discussion to work.
Hmm.
So how do we lead a workplace now when you have, and I think what we're seeing more and more is these kids coming up and they've never had bad news, right?
Most
Because they've been protected,
most definitely. So
right?
what do we talk about most?
Here,
Yeah, fail.
yeah,
Fail.
here,
Stand up,
yeah.
talk about your failure, smile about your failure. I
Make a
remember
mistake.
make a mistake.
Yeah.
My social guy, right? I our social guy, Mark Andre,
Oh, okay.
right? So
I thought
here I was giving him Google. I had been in charge of Google for years. What I knew that Google does to you is it destroys you when you are
it
working
does.
through Google because
Mm,
you can have a beautiful ad
mm.
and get tons of leads. 2 weeks later, dry. You did nothing to the landing page. You did nothing to the bids. You did right, and it's all of a sudden
Just done.
it's done and it looks like a failure because Google every
Mm.
click is costing you stupid money. I mean it's we $250,000,
Yeah,
$1 million in Google.
if you want to have bad news, go into Google
Go
Ads.
go and play with Google
Go
AdWords.
in social media.
So I remember
Try to
you
get
being
some
on that call
followers.
and I had to say to him, you will fail and you will fail so often with this that I need you to just put the next ad out.
Mhm.
See, I can't get caught up too much in the badness of it all because you will freeze. You'll be so afraid to spend Dovico's money, right? Trying to get that next lead because you've just failed miserably on the last one. But it is something that we have to talk about often here. You're not going to get fired for failure.
Mm.
You have to talk about it more because what we need to know is that you've learned the lesson. See, if you're so afraid to talk about the failure, you're so afraid to talk about that bad line of code, you're so afraid to talk about the bug fix, right? Like I tell you, the guy who taught us that, do you remember the guy who taught us that?
Is that
Foley.
fully?
He
Is
was
that the
the angel.
get out of jail free?
No, no, no. He was the Jedi Knight. He was the Blue Angel. He was the captain for the
He's the guy that gave us the cards. Get out of jail free.
no, that was Jim Donald.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Sorry.
So this guy was Blue Angel, and so these guys flew 16 inches away from each other, right? There's a whack of them, and they fly like that, so
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
do, yeah. And when they go back to do their debrief, they gotta say,
Yeah.
"Sorry, buddy, I wasn't 16 inches away from you. I was
Mm,
15. I know you felt that, right? Yeah,
mm.
and they have to admit to each other because the thing is they're gonna kill each other up there. So being vulnerable is what he taught us in that class. They were gonna fail, but the thing is that they failed, they would die.
So, what's the best thing that we've done at Dovaco to, like, I know encouraging failure is what we do. You've done that like for a long time.
Yep,
We encourage mistakes and we don't blame people. We say, okay, what did you learn? We've been doing that for a long time.
long time.
What is the fastest thing, the best thing we've done? Maybe we can leave the audience with that. The best thing we've done in our group to allow mistakes. What do you think it is? What is the one thing that people could do?
Probably for us, what it has been, and it's only been the last few years, is we built a product called ShowUp.
Okay.
So for the introverts, um, that weren't able to stand up and say, this is what happened to me and this was my failure. We found a way that we could do it anonymously with one another. So we're all home, we're on these Zoom calls, Teams calls, and we have a tool that allows just for comments to come up anonymously. So people share their feelings, share their failures. We don't really know who it is. Sometimes you might, but what we found is not 90% of the time or 95% of the time, 100% of the time, somebody that person gets seen.
Mm,
It may not be me and you that see
yeah.
them, but somebody has seen them. Somebody will comment on the comment to say,
Yeah.
man, I got you. Like whoever this is, I can help next time. Please reach out to me privately, whatever it is. So I think that um, we had pillars and practices that get us through these emotional
So,
instances,
so,
but nothing has given us more insight than show up.
so why do you think that is? Because if you're a leader and you're saying we're allowing people to make mistakes, but yet they're not comfortable to make mistakes. If like I think we have an organization, and I think you as a mom, as a friend, you allow people to make mistakes without judging them.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do that, but still, people are hesitant to tell you they've made a mistake,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. It's in your
Why do you think
it's
that?
in your DNA.
So
Eve, you're going to get in trouble if you make a mistake.
you're afraid people are going to judge you.
You're definitely going to be
So
judged. And you think you're going to be fired. You got to
if you're the
remember,
boss, yeah.
their parents got fired. Their parents got fired. We're doing something that's a little bit different. And I hope other businesses are doing the same, right?
I did a video this weekend about what coaches do to manipulate you. I don't know if you saw that one. Probably not.
Mm-mm,
You're not
mm.
following me anymore. So I'm just joking. So what I've realized is that people who agree with you aren't necessarily your friends or a good coach because what they're doing is manipulating you. What they're saying is, "Oh, I agree with you." In order, so the story goes like this. I was with a friend, and he was saying, well, he was asking the question. The question he was asking is, should I hire a husband and wife team?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Did we talk about that
Yeah,
already?
we talked about it.
Last week?
Yeah. Well,
No, can't be.
Friday. Was it
Okay, right.
Friday?
Yeah, you were
Anyways, I just said no.
right. So no, but so I said no.
Absolutely not.
People around him said no, but he was like defending it. And then he says, well, my coach, right? Like he agreed with me. He said, yeah, well, you brought up all good arguments. And I thought about that for a while and said, well, no, you convince him because you're not listening to anything we're saying anyway. So he's saying, well, I'm just going to agree with you so you can go do your own mistakes.
Yeah.
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 So, and so that's what happens when we lie. Like, so why did this coach lie? Because he's afraid that he's going to lose the business of this person, right? And so why do employees lie? Because they're afraid that you're going to fire them.
That's right.
Why do, partners lie? Because you're afraid you're going to leave them,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So why do friends lie? Because they're afraid that you're going to leave them,
Yeah.
right? And so we have a really hard time as humans to receive bad news. Like
Oh, extreme.
people that disagree with us, right? We're
Yeah.
looking for people that agree with us because we think that's the only way to survive. And I would say if you're on the edge, go spend time with people that disagree with you
Yep.
Go spend, find friends that are willing to tell you the truth.
Yep.
And then when you when you receive the bad news, well, do your thing. Go in the woods, spend more time journaling, whatever the thing is, to actually absorb it and like kind of um like make sense out of it and
Yeah.
find an edge there for yourself. So that's what I would say. And so bad news um is an opportunity for you to go on an edge. That's what I think it is. And
It is.
yeah.
It if you were able to be aware enough that it's bad news that but it's not bad news that you need to go to the bed, right? You need to head to bed. You need to be able to be aware enough that that bad news can turn into something else,
Yeah.
right?
And I think
Just like a bad feature, just like a bad meal, right? You can always put a little salt on it. You can always,
but if you look at people like Christine
yeah,
and like our friend Becca
yeah,
Topitu,
Becca, yeah,
right? They got bad news and they turned it into something like a powerful movement, something powerful.
they did.
So you can take bad news and say, okay, what do I have? And my sister who passed away, she took her bad news as what am I going to do here to make the maximum out of my life
That's right.
for the next 6 weeks? And that's what she had, right? So there's always a way to respond to bad news in order to live on the edge. And it takes a special person to do that.
That's right.
And you're that special person. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hi, Barbara, Cheryl. Thanks for watching, guys. Diane, yes. Show up shows allows us to say out loud, yeah, the things that we can't say. Give yourself an opportunity to um, release the bad news. Give
Mhm.
yourself an opportunity to reframe the bad news. Yeah. I'm Shelley Butler,
I'm Yves Doucet.
and this has been Mindset Monday. Love you. Get your workout in. And how are you?